Okay, hi everyone, welcome back. And in this update, we are going to check out Litecoin's price chart, and what we talked about in the previous video exactly played out. And this is a perfect example of not necessarily being optimistic whenever you are having a 5-wave up. Why? Because you see me in every single update saying that if you want to be bullish on any chart, then okay, you need to be able to find off of its recent lowest low a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave. But pay attention to this. This is a necessary condition. Sure, no arguments there. However, it's not actually enough. Followed by that, you need to see a very slow and choppy move on the downside. And also in the previous last phase down, you need to see a 5-wave down. And if I just go on the live chart, okay, so in LTC, we said in here, we are probably having ABC on the downside, and that can open the doors to having an ABC in form of either a running or maybe an expanded flat, depending on whether we are going to take this high or not. And inside of our C leg for the subwaves, we are absolutely allowed to have a 5-wave. So essentially what we said in the previous video was this: we may very well see, starting from these areas, another move on the upside in order to take this high. But at that point, we need to be a bit more patient and careful, because even according to the most bullish case, after a 5-wave up, what are we going to have? We said a move on the downside, and the move itself, we said it's not important. We need to pay full attention to the shape of the move, and in case that we get a very strong one down, okay, that's going to be a bad sign. And as you can see, unfortunately, that pretty much played out. And also in here, I think we can all agree that this is a beautiful looking 5-wave impulsive structure down. So question is, can we argue in Litecoin we have hit our final low? For different reasons, we can say actually yes. One reason is this: you see, I think now we can say, starting from the high side to about the lowest low, we are having the subwaves for a beautiful ABC zigzag. So the fact that you are able to find complete subwaves for a correction structure down can be interpreted as an optimistic sign. Second important reason, let's go on 30-minute time frame, zoom in more. Okay, so in my view, there is actually a chance that we are having in here in LTC a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-wave up off of the lowest low, which is yet another optimistic sign. But I'm going to say what I said also in the previous video again: you need to wait a bit more and see a move down, a slow and choppy move, and then at that point right in here can be like a short-term long opportunity in hope that we get yet another move on the upside. Otherwise, this may very well be like, I don't know, since it's kind of a deep move on the upside, let's say sure a WXY in form of a double zigzag. This is also possible, hence why I'm trying to argue, look, you need to wait a little bit more and see what is going to happen. Now, question: what if we are not actually looking bullish in like very short term, and this is going to be just a correction structure, and we're gonna have like yet another move on the downside? At that point, I actually need you to have your eyes on this important low down here about $103. Why? Because if we take the lows in here, two things are going to happen. Number one, odds are this correction is actually going to take quite a bit of time, and number two, we are probably going to continue our move down a bit more in order to maybe even reach to about these levels around the $90 region, potentially even the $85 area. I think that can happen. However, it's very important to understand that having a move down starting from the current point in order to get to those levels is not going to be a bad sign at all. Okay, one way or the other, I am extremely bullish in LTC. And I think one very important thing that can prove me wrong and maybe tip the scales towards a possible bearish count a bit more is going to be having a very strong move down in order to take this low all the way down here about $73, because at that point I may argue that this is going to be like an ABC in form of a zigzag structure, indicating our move down is probably not over yet, and from here we can continue this phase in order to even take the lowest low down here. But as long as we are not able to see something like that, I think it's a bit too soon to jump into those kinds of bearish conclusions. So bottom line, in my view, in Litecoin, now we do have complete subwaves for an ABC zigzag down, and also in this initial bounce, we are able to find a 5-wave. So let's hope, that we see a very slow move down, followed by yet another move on the upside, and then consolidation, followed by another move up, in order to take this important high. And why is this so important? Because at that point, finding a complete 5-wave in this whole phase is going to be extremely challenging, to a degree that is not going to be my primary case, further confirming this ABC zigzag, indicating what from here we are probably going to continue our uptrend in order to take this high. But that's not really important from my POV. What really matters is what is going to happen to this unbelievable important ranging pattern, because the moment that we get a breakout and maybe we do something like this, we go above the higher band of it around, let's say $140, and then consolidation followed by yet another move up. Since above here we really do not have a whole lot of strong resistances, okay, I'm going to argue our move up is going to accelerate in LTC at quite a bit of a rapid pace, and exciting price actions are going to be indeed ahead of us. So overall, we are looking great in LTC, but let's just wait a bit more and see what is going to happen in the next move. And in case that we get another move down, all eyes on this important low. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in Litecoin. And until the next update, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.